What is up, guys? Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to give you a tour of my apartment and talk to you a little bit about how you can get a free apartment teaching English in China.
Don't want to mislead, this is all you need. Be your everything, yeah, I'll be your everything. Still too soon to feel, please just say it's real. More than just a thrill, not just in it for the thrill. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my buttons, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my buttons, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love.
Alright guys, welcome back. I've just come back indoors where it's warm after spending some time out in the snow. And I really wanted to just give you a tour of my apartment and show you where I live and what it's like being a teacher here in China, what the facilities are like. And my apartment has quite a bit of a traditional Chinese feel to it. So I really wanted to share that with you. So let me take you around, let me show you what we have. I guess just show you what it might look like living in a Chinese apartment. Alright, so this is my kitchen. I mean, I have everything that I need really. It is quite small, but all the necessities are here. So obviously I've got somewhere that I can cook, I've got myself a stove, got myself a drying rack, my wash basin, and then, you know, if you have a look over here, I'll just bring you around with me. I have my rice cooker and, you know, some cutlery and stuff, some knives that I can use, and then obviously like all of these pots and pans and plates. All of this stuff comes with the apartment. One of the really cool things about moving into a furnished apartment is that you don't have to buy anything when you move in. Everything is already here for you. So I've had no expenses in moving into this apartment. Everything that you see here, all this cutlery, the pots, the pans, I mean, I probably just bought, you know, what did I buy here? Probably just my thermos for my coffee. What else did I had some chopsticks that I wanted to use. That's pretty much all that I've bought. Everything else was provided. Which is one of the really cool perks. Let me take you into one of the other rooms here. So I'm actually going to take you into my bedroom and just show you what it looks like. It is quite spacious as well. I mean, I've got a double bed. I have a really cool safe, right? So this is my backpack. I've got a really cool safe right here that I could probably use, which I don't use, just because I don't really need it. What else? You know, and obviously the cupboards here, which are really spacious. I can put all of my clothes in there. I have heaps of room. Literally from top to bottom, I can use for, you know, my clothes. I've got blankets, pillows, stuff like that in there. What I really like is this little design thing here. I don't know what it is. Obviously it looks like a dragon, but I don't know if it is symbolic of something. Let me take you into the bathroom, which is also quite small, but this apartment was designed for a single person. So obviously you've got toilet, my shower, right? Really cool thing with the shower head is that you normally have like the really big plate, which I don't have for some reason. I don't use it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I mean, yeah, if you look at the size of this, I mean, it's relatively small, but when you're living on your own, don't really need a big bathroom, hey? One of my favorite rooms here, which I spend quite a lot of time, not all of my time, but quite a lot of time in here, is my study room. And in this room, is where I do most of my work. And if you can't tell, there's a bit of an echo in here, so I don't like filming in here too often. But yeah, this is my desk. Computer was provided. These shelves were obviously provided. I've got a printer that was given to me as well. So I mean, that stuff's, you know, obviously quite necessary when you're a teacher. Whoever was living in this apartment last left this really cool map of the city that I live in. And it's really useful to get around and see what's, you know, any major sites that are around. And they've actually highlighted some stuff as well that are like a must see, which is quite cool, you know. And I'll show you just one more room here that I've got. Oh, before I do that, check this out. quite a small TV, right? But then I've got this little bad boy here, this Xbox. And this is something that I actually borrowed from one of my colleagues just because he doesn't really use it anymore. And that's something that you definitely need, especially on like a quiet weekend where, you know, it's snowing. Like tonight, for example, it's snowing and you don't really want to go anywhere. You just want to stay home. Xbox, FIFA, Call of Duty, that's what you want. So let me take you into our laundry here. And in the laundry, you'll see probably not a good day to film this because I've got all my clothes hanging up. And they don't often dry very quickly in this room because it is quite cold. And I'm just going to close the door because I've got the heater on inside. But look, in this room is really... I've got my washing machine. It's my suitcase that I don't use anymore. The only bad thing is I don't have a dryer. And there is a bit of a hack in China that you can do where you buy this like clothing rack kind of thing that closes up and it has a heater on the bottom and heats your clothes up. It's like equivalent to a dryer, which is pretty cool. I just don't have it. I mean, I just hang my clothes up here and let them dry. And if I really need my clothes, I'll put them on a chair in front of the heater, the way the wogs do it. My mother taught me that way. So that's, you know, this is obviously quite a small room. There's a lot of storage in here that I can use. You know, I've got my ironing board and stuff in there. A lot of storage I can use. There were some really cool things in here that were left by people that were living here previously, but I've thrown them out just because I don't like using other people's stuff. So let me take you inside and I'll have a chat to you about, you know, how much all of this stuff really cost, if it cost anything. So that's really just a brief overview of where I live and the facilities that I have. I mean, it is quite basic. I consider myself to be quite a minimalist. I don't really have many things that I've brought. I mean, I came here with a backpack and a suitcase, and my suitcase was just mainly my jackets that I need for the winter. But I don't really carry too many things, and I don't buy many things to decorate this place because I will be leaving, within, this year. And I don't really want to have to take a lot of things home with me. But in terms of, how much rent do we pay? A place like this in this city would normally cost you about 2,000 yuan a month, equivalent to 400 Australian dollars a month. And the funny thing is that you can often find something a lot cheaper in other parts of this city. Obviously not to this standard, but not much worse. So, but if you look at places like Shanghai or Beijing, you can expect to pay double or triple this amount. When I was living in Shanghai, I was paying about 3,500 yuan a month, which is equivalent to about $700 a month. And that was just for a room, not my own apartment. So this apartment that I live in was provided to me by the employer of the university that I work in. So I don't pay any rent. This is free for me. And it was furnished as well. And that's one of the benefits of teaching here in China. My advice to anyone that decides to come to China to find an apartment, I highly recommend seeing whether you can get your employer to provide housing for you. And if not, then a housing allowance. Most employers will provide a housing allowance. And it's usually around the median cost of rent within that city. So look out for that. It's definitely a handy tip to know. Most people that come here to teach, especially for the first time, are not very familiar with the idea of free housing or a housing allowance. And they come here and pay out of their own pocket. I hope that you found some benefit in this episode and in the tour of my apartment. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I will have more videos coming out during this week. So thank you so much for those of you that have tuned in. I think this is episode 4 weeks in a row. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, hit the like and the subscribe button at the bottom here on the corner, and leave some comments and some feedback and tell me what you think about this. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you liked what you saw, hit the like and the subscribe button and leave a comment and tell me what you thought. See you next week.